place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. It's Christmas Eve. Hope you all doing well. Hope your pockets is intact. How many of y'all still out there Christmas shopping or wrapping gifts? I'm all done. I was done about a week ago, honestly. Like to get that type of shit out the way. My daughter, she to the point where she just, I can give her a few dollars and she good, My 7-year-old though, he in the other room, I was going to spoil the the Great Christmas Live Santa Claus for him. But the wife wouldn't let me. So he's all amped up, ready to go to sleep, all this other stuff. You know how I go. Let me say what's up to everybody in the chat. What up, Jabari? Yeah, the grift don't stop, yo. You know what I mean? Hawaii 689. Yeah, I'm going live on Christmas Eve. I'm a wild boy. Lucas Storm. Ninjas in the now I see looking crazy getting tested to see their family because Lil Tony told them to do so. They wildin'. Ridiculous. I don't know why people want to be told what to do. James, what up, what up, what up? Kev DiBiase, what's the deal? What's going on? Happy to see you in the chat. Andy Bob. I swear YouTube hates me. They never give me notifications. You ain't the only person. You know what I mean? Emmanuel Presley, what's the deal? Merry Christmas to you and your family as well, bro. You all done? Gotta get it out the way. You know what I mean? So, now everybody winding down in the house. My daughter off doing something on one of her mini electronic devices. My son playing Madden over there. You know what I mean? Still grinding at work. I feel you. You gotta make the donuts, right? BMW TV in the building. Peace to you too. Salute. But yeah, so I went out earlier today to see what I could see. Took my son to get a haircut. That was a task in itself. We were at the barbershop for a minute. I don't know what I was thinking about that one. I should have got our hair cut a couple of days ago. You know what I mean? We was there way too damn long. But my son was looking like Wolfgang, so I had to get him, squared away. And then while I was there, I went ahead and got me all nice and shaped up and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, any big plans tomorrow other than just opening gifts? Anybody got, any plans going to see family, friends, parties, anything like that? I'm just trying to chill for real. One of my wife's family members having a little Christmas breakfast, we're gonna go over there, eat, chill out, have fun. Then after that, I'm chilling. I'm going to come in the house, watch a bunch of old cheesy Christmas movies. Tonight on deck is Christmas Vacation, one of the greatest Christmas movies ever made. If you ain't down with Christmas Vacation, I don't know what's wrong with you. You know what I mean? I hear that. Master of Violence. I'm going to Hotep and build. I hear that. Happy White Man Holiday, HJ. Is that what he said, yo? Gee. Hey, that's exactly what it is, though. You can't deny that. You know what I mean? I don't know how we got sucked into this. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't. You know, if I didn't have kids, I probably wouldn't celebrate it. You know what I mean? But you got kids, you gotta, you know, do things. But I do things for my kids year round. You know, they don't gotta wait for Christmas and Easter and birthdays to get stuff. You know what I mean? They do what they supposed to do. You get rewarded. You know, simple as that. All right, swing by your sister crib. Okay. I hear about check your nieces and nephews out. Okay, I got you. I hear you. That's what's up. You know what I mean? It's always good to have fun with family. You know, I think, I'm not sure. I think my sister might be coming up here. I think she said she's going to come up and hang out. I think she said she would come up here and hang out with her kids, stuff like that. I don't care, you know. I'm going to kick back, get me some eggnog, put a little whiskey, a little bourbon in it or something like that, and kick my feet back. You know what I mean? Enjoy my days off. Back to the grind Monday. Got to make all that money back that I spent. You know what I mean? You know. But anyway, let's get into this, right? So, who was it on my Twitter? By the way, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Hey, tell a friend to tell somebody. Share this video out to people. Let them know that we live. Let's get these likes up. Let's get the shares out there. I appreciate that. So anyway, so on my Twitter, Michael Dean, that's his name, Michael Dean, right? He sent to me because I was out doing some things, right? And he goes, "Hey yo, did you see Joe Nicholslick get tricked into saying 'Let's go Brandon'?" I was like, "No, what you talking about?" So he shot me over the video, and I just kept playing it. Like, I'm gonna take it over there. If y'all ain't seen it, I'm about to let y'all check this out.
Brandon. Let's go. Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way, where are you in Oregon?
And then he waits for the response. The dude already hung up.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way, where are you in Oregon?
He waits for the response. The guy already hung up. And you can see that. And you can see that Jill, when he said it, she was like, "Oh shit." She had to play it off. And his dumb ass over there in the corner like, "Yeah, I agree." Like, how disconnected do you got to be with, you know, the goings on of the world, being that you are the president of the United States, that you don't know that's a running joke for you. Like, they would literally, after he does his, what do we calling it, putting the lid on his day, he must literally be carting him off to his coffin in the dark and lowering him into his Lazarus pit, you know, for him not to even know what that means. Clearly his wife knew what it was, and he just kept rolling with it. This is hilarious. I swear, between him and Kamala, they the gift that keeps on giving. Tell you that much. Oh man, one more time, just one more time.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way,
You see it in her face. She had to play that shit off. Oh my god.
Yeah, I hope you guys.
Jeez Louise, man. That is nonsensical. That's great. BMW. Yeah, last night. That is a fact only for the babies. Exactly. It's only for the babies, y'all. No, Santa ain't done none of this shit. Santa ain't done none of it. I feel you. White man ain't getting no credit, huh? I feel you on that. You really can't find no eggnog in your store? So we got a place here called Royal Farms, and you know we got 7-Eleven. I had to go there to get it. Grocery stores were sold out. So I had to go to like the 7-Eleven or the Rural Farm and get some. I got a little bit in the refrigerator. I'm gonna try to go find some a little later. I still got a little. I got enough for tomorrow. You know what I mean? Queen D, what up? What up? What up? Super Carlo in the building. What's going on? What's going on? Andy Bob. Yeah, she looked mighty uncomfortable. The minute he said it, she knew what it was, but she wasn't gonna act out. She ain't no Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris probably would have got all indignant, you know, and shook her head and snapped her neck and all this other shit. And, you know, it would have been a awesome meme or awesome soundbite if she would have been there to did that shit. That'd been great. Like I said, they the gift that keep on giving. I tell you that much. Anyway, so the reason I jumped on the stream today is it looked like was it yesterday? What day was this? The 22nd actually. I don't know how I missed this. It looked like old Joe Nicholslick did a sit down with ABC News, and he was trying to give the state of the Covebase. We're gonna call it Covebase. I'm in a construction supply company, and we sell something called Covebase. So I'm gonna just go with that. You know, we can go with the remix, Covebase. It's all the same, people. Master of violence. I bought my daughter a 25-pound bag of rice for Xmas. It's one of her gifts. She'll appreciate it later. Facts. Facts. Just having Jab Crow saying, "Let's go, Brandon," is an excellent clip. Excellent clip. Our country is being ran by people who are about to leave the world. Yeah. Yeah. I agree, yo. Royal Farms is a budget Wawa. I mean, the chicken good, though. I can't lie to you. The chicken is good. Pardon my shine. But the chicken is good. But Wawa got them sandwiches. Wawa definitely got them sandwiches. We do got Wawas here. You know, now Sheets come around. Both of them can kick rocks. I'm a huge Sheets fan. Straight up. Anyway, so what I want to do, it's a 12-minute video. I wanted to review this video. See what he's talking about, right? So what we're going to do is going over to the old commentary screen. I love that transition. That's what I do. And we're going to get into it.
Capitol tonight for our exclusive interview with President Biden at a critical time in our
fair
country.
Use, fair use,
Omicron
fair use.
Variant, now the dominant strain. We learned today now in all 50 states. And with this new COVID surge, just as Americans gather for the holidays, the long lines across this country, Americans trying to get tested. We asked nearly 2 years into this pandemic, why is it so difficult to find a test? We sat down with the president right after the FDA authorized that breakthrough new treatment today, the first COVID pill in the U.S., Pfizer's antiviral pill. We asked the president how much has the government purchased and how soon before those pills reach the Americans who need.
So when I first hit the first few minutes of this before I went live, I was like, wait, what? They got pills now? Get out of here. So I had to go look it up from the Associated Press. Pfizer pill becomes the first U.S. authorized home Covebase treatment. They just can't get enough of that good old American dollar, can they? You know what I mean? Jeez. I tell you. Let's get into it. The long-awaited milestone comes as U.S. cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are all rising, and health officials warn of a tsunami of new infections from the Omicron variant that could overwhelm hospitals. The drug Paxlovid is a faster way to treat early Covebase infections. So initial supplies will be extremely limited. No shit. Why? Like trying to get a pair of Jordans, right? All of the previously authorized drugs against the disease require an IV or an injection. An antiviral pill from Merck also is expected to soon win the authorization. But Pfizer's drug is all but certain to be the preferred option because of its mild side effects. What are those? Anal leakage, bloody nose, collapsed lung. What is it? Of its mild side effects and superior effectiveness, including a nearly 90% reduction in hospitalization and deaths among patients most likely to get the severe disease. They're now calling this cold a disease. How about that? The efficiency is high, the side effects are low, and it's oral. Pause. It checks all the boxes, says Dr. Gregory Poland of the Mayo Clinic. You're looking at a 90% decrease in risk of hospitalization, death, in a high risk group. That's stunning. Okay. So, it just sounds like they repackaged in Tamiflu. I mean, am I wrong? Like they repackaged in Tamiflu in pill form. That shit might be Tylenol, cold and sinus repackaged. Who knows? Who knows what that shit? That shit could just be Pez, for all we know. You know what I mean? I swear they just want to pump us full of drugs, man. Pump us full of drugs. You know what I mean? And they're going to keep telling us it's 90% effective. Now, I wonder how fast that efficacy rate going to decrease over time. This is the shit I'm talking about. You come over to pill form. We ain't had the Yameen. We ain't had the Yameen 2 years. Now they already coming out with pills. I'm telling y'all, man, keep your eyes open. I swear. Barry Allen, shout out to Super Carlo. BMW TV. 3-hour wait to find out you got a cold. Facts. In New York? Oh, okay, I got you. But it's still, that's horse paste rebranding. You might be right. I'm here in Tijuana and bought 10 Iverson pills. Oh shit. Sweet James Jones. What's going on? They giving motherfuckers them OTC. They giving motherfuckers them OTC Covebase perks. Kev DiBiase, Big Pharma going to get that coin by any means. You already know. You already know. Jeez. Oh my gosh, man. I'm telling you guys. We have a global shortage on everything, but they can push these vacations and treatments at the moment's notice. Exactly. My wife couldn't find orange juice in the market. Just came from the market and get no orange juice. Like, go figure, right? Telling you. Yeah, and Handy Bob, anal leakage, yo. That's gonna be one of the side effects. Mild stroke. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
And with those long lines for COVID tests across the country, we ask, could more have been done to prepare for this new variant? And where do we go from here? And will his own family get rapid tests before they gather for Christmas? Tonight, the president also on the economy, the prices Americans are paying. The White House today noting the success of getting ports moving again, progress after the supply chain shortage, saying,
look, we got to stop all this testing. It's already to the detriment of us, but we got to stop this testing. We already know that the tests are unreliable. We know that. We know that the test can't determine the difference between the common cold and some Covebase. We already know that. We got to stop the testing. I just find it ironic how all these cases are spiking during cold and flu season. You know what I mean? When we know the flu take out what, 20 to 30,000 people a year. You know what I mean? I know the worst flu season we had was 80,000 people or something like that, 60 or 80,000 people that they kicked the bucket. You know what I mean? Like I said, watch how the flu magically disappears, man. You know what I mean? Also the condition known as sausage fingers. Shooter 305, what up? Welcome. Just wishing you and everyone in the chat blessings and prosperity. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Did they? I don't know if the NFL stopped. They should. They should. The NHL should too. Don't make sense. Don't make sense. Let's get back to it.
Gifts made it in time for Christmas. And we asked the president about Senator Joe Manchin and whether the president's Build Back Better bill can be saved. And with the January 6th anniversary approaching after the attack on the Capitol, what the president said today about accountability. And we asked, does the president plan to run for re-election? Tonight, President Biden, one-on-one with us at the White House. I want to get right to Omicron. As you know now, the dominant strain here in the U.S., Dr. Fauci now says it could account for up to 90% of all new cases by just next week. The CDC now warning Americans that we could see peaks that we haven't seen so far in this pandemic. I know just before we sat down here, the FDA has now authorized the first COVID pill, the first antiviral pill from Pfizer. 89% effective at preventing hospitalizations and death. The obvious question for you, Mr. President, is how much has the government purchased? How much is ready to go right away?
We've purchased several million already, but here's right away, I think don't hold me the number, I think it may be 20 million, but a lot of pills, all they can make so far. But you know, I hope we don't get there, because if people get the shots, they get their 2 shots and a booster, they're not going to be in a position where they're going to need such
they get
pill.
their smoke in a pancake.
Do you have any idea how quickly the American people will actually see these pills? How soon we're going to be able to get them to hospitals that are already seeing patients?
The answer is, I think it'll be a matter of weeks to a month to get the pills, but it won't be enough to get to all the hospitals. We could order a lot more of those pills. We now have to order millions of those pills.
We learned just before we sat down together here that Omicron has now been detected in all 50 states. And you told the American people just yesterday that we are prepared for what's coming. But 3 days before Christmas, if you look out across the country, you see it everywhere, these long lines, people waiting for hours outside in the cold just to get tested, to be reassured before they spend time with their family. I saw it in Washington today coming to the White House. If you go to the pharmacy, we hear this over and over again, empty shelves, no test kits. Is that a failure?
No, I don't think it's a failure. I think it's, you could argue that we should have known a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, a month ago. I've ordered 500 million of the pills, 500 million pills. 500 million test kits that are going to be available to be sent to every home in America if anybody wants them. But the answer is, yeah, I wish I had thought about ordering 500 million pills 2 months ago before COVID hit here.
But we're nearly 2 years into this pandemic. You're a year into the presidency. Empty shelves and no test kits in some places 3 days before Christmas when it's so important. Is that good enough?
No, nothing's been good enough. But look where we are. When last Christmas we were in a situation where we had significantly fewer people vaccinated. Emergency rooms were filled. You had serious backups in hospitals that were causing great difficulties. We're in a situation now where we have 200 million people fully vaccinated. 200 million people fully vaccinated. And we have more than that who have had at least one shot. And they're getting these booster shots as well. So we've moved along, and the CDC is still...
My problem is this. You hear what he said? We got 200 million people that got that round trip in that 3-point shoot, the 3-point shot, right? 200 million people. But they still keep blaming us purebloods. They keep blaming the unyamin for the variants, for the mutants, for the continuation of the Covebase. And we all know that these mutants mutated within the people that got the yamin, the vacation, the round trip. Like, I don't know why they can't admit that. Well, I do know why they can't admit it. They don't stand to make no money by admitting that. You know what I mean? Let's keep moving.
Saying, and the docs who advised me on this are still saying, if you are tested, if you know where you are in terms of having gotten the shots, there's no reason why you can't get together with your family and your friends. We couldn't do that last Christmas.
Let me ask you about what Dr. Fauci said. I think it was a week ago today about the so-called neutralizing antibodies. He said after 2 shots, it did wane over some period of time, and that it was only after the booster that you got back into that protective zone. So are you talking about gatherings with people who had both vaccinations, both shots, and the booster?
That's the safest thing you can do, both shots and the booster.
Let me ask you about what you said on July 4th. I know you remember it well. You told the American...
I'm telling y'all, and I'm gonna say it. You're gonna hear it from me first. The reason why we're gonna keep having all of these different jabs here and there, this shit gonna be like if you on steroids or something. You're gonna get jabbed up so much, your body ain't gonna know how to fight nothing. And you're gonna become dependent on that drug that they peddling to you to keep your immune system up and running. Man, I ain't no doctor or no shit like that. But I know if you don't use shit on your body, you know, if I don't go throw some shit over my head, or I don't go pick some shit up and put it down, I'm gonna lose my muscle mass. You know what I mean? Same thing with your immune system. You don't use your immune system, man, and you keep letting something else, you know, do it for you, you'll lose that immune system. And that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? You know, like with people that's on steroids to get adrenal fatigue, you know, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be, can't tell nobody shit though.
And people were closer than ever to our independence from a deadly virus. Do you think you overpromised?
No, we were closer than ever, but there's a lot we don't know. It's like, I'm sure you're going to ask me, when's this going to end? How are we going to do this? Are we certain going to be able to overcome the
Botox the hell out of his face?
The virus. COVID-19? The answer is, the expectation is yes, because we have the best scientists in the world. We're moved so rapidly compared to other countries, but we don't know. We don't know for certain, so that's why.
What would you say to some Americans who might say, this feels like we're chasing Omicron instead of being ahead of it, fully prepared for it?
Well, look, Omicron only really came on the scene just before Thanksgiving. We weren't talking about Omicron 6 months ago, but it's just recent. And so we are chasing Omicron. But the fact of the matter is, you're chasing whatever comes on the scene that wasn't there before. And this wasn't there this last summer, for example.
The vice president said in recent days that you didn't see Delta coming, you didn't see Omicron coming. How did you get it wrong?
How did we get it wrong? Nobody saw it coming.
Wrong. You didn't see Omicron. The vice president said in recent days that you didn't see Delta coming, you didn't see Omicron coming. How did you get it wrong?
How did we get it wrong? Nobody saw it coming. Nobody in the whole world. Who saw it coming?
I guess what I'm asking is, scientists have long said that when you're dealing with the coronavirus, COVID-19, that there are going to be mutations, that most likely over time it is going to become very transmissible because this virus is trying to stay alive, trying to survive. So did the administration not expect that there could be moments like this one where you'd have a highly transmissible variant that's possible?
And that's a good question. That's a good question. That's a good question. And let's see how well they prepared him for this question. Queen D, I can't stand to hear his voice or see his face. It's so annoying. Like, they Botox the fuck out of him. Do you see that? Like, he just look weird. Carlo. They walk in Tri-Lands, Omega Moves, Della Reese. Yeah, it's all BS, yo. It's all BS. You know what I mean? It is a good question. But we, you know, Dr. Tanai Ricks answered that for us. You know what I mean?
Around the corner.
It was possible. And it's possible there could be other variants that come along. That's possible. But what do you plan for? You plan for what you think is available, that is the most likely threat that exists at the time, and you respond to it. And I think that that's exactly what we've done. And that's, for example, Omicron is spreading rapidly, but the death rates are much, much lower than they were. This is not March of 2020. This is a very different time than we're in now.
I know you're going to get together with the children and the grandchildren for the holiday. How will that work? Will you all rapid test before you're together?
Yes.
No.
I'm doing it almost every day.
He's fucking lying. He's fucking
And is your
lying.
hope that for the millions of Americans who are trying to get tests
Yes.
before the holiday, that they'll be able to do what?
Well, they won't be able to do it. The number of tests available, I've ordered 500 million of them for the United States to be sent to everybody who wants.
Sidebar, side note. If you're going to get tested, just go hang out with your family. You're fucking stupid. If you make your family test before they come see you, you're stupid. That's crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You motherfuckers has been in the markets. You've been in, you know, not my chat. We know what we talking about. Y'all motherfuckers been in the markets. Y'all been in toy stores and fucking Walmart and Burlington Coat Factory and malls and shit around all these fucking people touching shit that people done touched 6, 7, 8 times. Picking up fucking meat and pause and produce and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? One sec. Sorry guys, my son. You know, damn, I was on a roll. He done messed me up. Anyway, but you know, y'all picking up all this produce and these packaged goods and this and that and toys and kids and, you know, snotting and sneezing on shit in these stores. And you know, it's funny how they social distance you in the line to pay for shit, but in the store it's just a free for all. I mean, I don't know if anybody else ever noticed that shit. Then when it comes to having people over the house, it's like, oh no. Covebase. I'm like, the fuck? Like you exchanging money that people touch 6, 7 times. You're around people. You telling people excuse me so you can get to a shirt and shit like that and all this other stuff. You feel me? But when it comes to having a few people over your house, y'all fucking scared to death. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know what I mean? Anyway, sorry guys. You know what I mean? It's crazy, you know. Yeah, Super Carlo. Same thing in airports. You know what I mean? Same thing in airports. You guys are around all these people. You doing this and that on a daily basis. You know what I mean? But your own family, y'all tripping on. You know what I mean? Don't make sense to me. Me personally, if you're gonna try and make me test or you're gonna make me you gonna put a fucking thermometer, which them fucking infrared thermometers is some shit. Them shit's always 2 degrees off to the other way, to the 2 degrees off anyway. Like, I'm not coming. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Andy Bob. Anyone who bases their decision on what a politician or unelected bureaucrat says is a straight up dumbass. I gotta agree. The ATM card reader has saran wrap on the keyboard, like we all don't touch that damn plastic. Exactly. What? It's just a facade. It's a fucking facade. You gotta wear a mask when you go to a restaurant, but when you sit down, you ain't gotta wear the shit. Just retarded. Facts. Whole demic contradictory. If my family made me test, God bless, LOL, I would stay my black ass home. Facts. Anyway, let's get back to it.
It's a test, can have one sent to home.
And that's January.
That's
right?
in January.
And so will they have those rapid tests by when? By mid-January? By the end of January?
The answer is, the expectation is it'll be by the rapid tests will start going out in the beginning of January because they're being produced now.
Mr. President, let me ask you about just getting on a plane in this country. We're seeing millions travel home for the holidays, filling the airports and getting on these planes. Have you considered requiring passengers in this country to be vaccinated to get on flights?
It's been considered, but the recommendation I've gotten is not necessary.
Even with Omicron?
Even with Omicron. That's the recommendation I got so far from the team.
Let me turn, Mr. President, to Build Back Better. Many say it's an agenda in peril right now, in large part because of Senator Joe Manchin. Universal pre-K, the child tax credit, of course, historic money to fight climate change, in the words of your administration. You've met with Senator Joe Manchin a number of times. You invited him to your home in Delaware. He came to the White House a week ago. Then he's on Sunday morning cable and says, I'm a no.
Well, look,
How does that happen? How are you not able to close the deal?
well, look, let's talk about what we have done. We have passed more major legislation than anybody in their first year ever. And I haven't given up on this. I haven't given up on it.
But Senator Manchin,
Joe Manchin made a smart move. He did what was best for his constituents. Instead of the news calling it down the middle, saying, how do you feel about Joe Manchin having reservations about your Build Back Better plan? What you hear him saying? You know, how do you feel about Senator Manchin not keeping his promise to you, turning his back on you, blah, 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 trying to make him the villain, trying to make him a villain. I'm not all that familiar with Joe Manchin, you know, but he made a wise decision based on his constituency. But the news is going to paint him to be a monster now, you know. And hey, if it wasn't for him, right now he the only one staving off this whole Build Back Better bullshit. Even though they still got a lot of this shit passed through, and we still going through it. You know what I mean? Jabari Allen, hygienic theater, facts. Jabari Allen, most people wouldn't test after going to a crowded basketball game, football game. Exactly. Hawaii. Weirdos genuinely believe this crap. In-laws of those people. Hey, if you're new, hit that like and subscribe button. Share this video. Share this live stream out. You know, let's get these likes up. Get these likes up, please. Likes is free. Don't be a taker. Let's go.
Manchin's main sticking point, it would appear, is the child tax credit. Are you willing to take that out if it means bringing him on board?
Well, look, I want to get as much as I can possibly get done. As much as we can possibly get done. I still think we'll be able to get a significant amount of what we need to get done.
None of that question.
Done. Particularly as the American people figure out what is in this legislation. It's extremely consequential.
And as Americans gather this Christmas, we talked about the cost. Inflation at a 40-year high in the U.S.
Unemployment has come down. Gas prices have come down 10, 11 cents or so since
because I made sure they
tapped into the strategic
He couldn't
reserve.
say that shit with a straight face.
But American families are feeling this.
They are.
He
And we have
couldn't
to
say that
acknowledge
shit with a straight
Inflation
face.
at 40 but
Because I made sure they
tapped into the strategic.
Inflation at a 40-year high in the U.S.
Unemployment has come down. Gas prices have come down 10, 11 cents or so since
because I made sure they
tapped into the strategic reserve. I know that. But
Let me tell you this shit. My gas went from $150 to fill up my truck to $147.75. I'm gonna just leave you with that.
American families are feeling this.
They are.
And we have to acknowledge that. Inflation a 40-year high. The Fed just indicated that they might have to raise interest rates up to 3 times in the coming year just to slow things down. That sounds like Americans should be prepared for potentially more pain before this gets better.
If
This guy asking some real fucking questions. Y'all hear what he said?
Sounds like Americans up to 3 times. The Fed just indicated that they might have to raise interest rates up to 3 times in the coming year just to slow things down. That sounds like Americans should be prepared for potentially more pain before this gets better.
If we don't pass Build Back Better, I think they're right. But if we do, 17 Nobel laureates in the economy said it's going to bring down inflation if we pass what I'm talking about.
As we prepare to mark the new year, we also know that means January 6th is coming, 1 year since the attack on the Capitol.
Here we go.
I sat down recently with 3 of the officers who testified before the American people about being attacked that day, the one officer trapped in that doorway. And all 3 of them kept coming back to one word in this interview. They kept saying accountability. And they told me that means if it leads right to the very top, We want accountability. Do you agree with those officers?
I think accountability is necessary. Look,
And that means if it goes right into
no
the
matter
previous
where
administration?
those responsible should be held accountable.
We all know what that day was. We all know what that day was. That was an optics day. That was a setup all the way through and through. A lot of those videos got purged off of the old interwebs. You know, a lot of those pictures that prove to the contrary of the official narrative. You know. Now he throwing them softballs. He throwing them softballs to make him look more presidential and a people person. You know, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? We know what that day in January was. Simple as that. We watched it. We saw what happened. It was nowhere close to what they trying to equate it to at all. But I digress. You can't say much about it on the old interwebs, especially on YouTube, because if I do, I mess around and be having to start this shit all over again. Anyway.
I want to ask you about something I asked weeks before the election when we sat down. You said you would absolutely serve 8 years if elected. Do you plan to run for re-election?
Yes, but look, I'm a great respecter of fate. Fate has intervened in my life many, many times. If I'm in the health I'm
The
in now,
redacted has intervened in his life
in good
many
health.
times.
then in fact, I would run again.
And if that means a rematch against Donald Trump?
You're trying to tempt me now. Sure. Why would I not run against Donald Trump or even the nominee? That would increase the prospect of running.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
I'm sorry. Even with all of the backlash old Donnie T getting about his stance on the Yameen, he was still whoop Joe Nicholslick's ass in another re-election or another election. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Got a lot of people that got hip to old Joe Nicholslick through this whole year. You know what I mean? They trying to get him out of here. He's not going to make it all 4 years. That's just my opinion. I don't think old Kamala will either. They're going to try and get her up out of there as well. You know, or she don't make it to a re-election where she can run for president. Nobody wants her. You know. Like I said, they're the gift that keeps on giving. Facts. Black Friday at Walmart is more mayhem than what happened on that day. 100. You know what I mean? You know, they worried about that, but they try to equate it to like Pearl Harbor and 9/11 and all that other stuff, right? It's all gaslighting. You know what I mean? At the end, he asked them questions to make him seem a little soft, to try to give him a softball right there. I ain't gonna lie, that was he kind of held his feet to the fire a little bit. But that just goes to show you, he's not a likable president. The people that follow him and the people that like him now that he had a year to fuck some shit up, people have a serious buyer's remorse over old Joe Nicholslick. You know what I mean? I got family members that was like, yo, we fucked up. I'm embarrassed. You know what I mean? And you got more and more people getting that buyer's remorse. You got more and more people looking like, yo, what do we do? Like I said, they sitting there looking around with that what the fuck happened face. You know? It was, like I said in one of my videos, he done rickrolled the shit out of everybody. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You know, like, you want your college student loans forgiven? Yeah, all right. You know, that was gone. You know, he took all that funding away from the HBCUs. You know, he you know, everything that he ran on is he hasn't touched it, you know, and that's a trait of all, you know, Democratic presidents. You know, I'll say Democratic and some Republican presidents, politicians, period. They promise you things to get in, and then when they get in, none of that shit happen. Y'all heard me say it before. You're giving up the booty on promises. Now the nigga won't return your phone calls. And that's what you're seeing now. And black folks and liberals been giving up the booty on promises for the last 50, 60 years. And dude still ain't calling back. He come and get some booty when he feel like it on a late night. And then he gone. He gone like the 84 Colts. I don't know when people gonna learn, I swear. You smell the setup with O'Donnell T? Hey, you might be right, because they coming after him now. You know, they got that whole house thing going on with the that day in January, which I don't understand what we doing that for, but you know. They know he got a good chance of beating Joe Nicholslick or whoever they put up, you know, against the Republicans, and they need to tarnish his name. Bill Cooper said it. He said it. He said the way you beat your opponent is you discredit your opponent. Public humiliation, stuff like that. You know. Remember that dude? Was the dude that was like, and we're going to Oregon and we're going to Chicago. Yeah. Remember that? I didn't think that was a big fucking deal, but the news took that yeah and ran with that shit to the point where this motherfucker had to drop out the race over that. You know what I mean? That's what they do. Woken, California is still on the Jab Crow Joe choo-choo train. Yeah. Yeah, they are. It's still early. They'll forget as always. That's true. That is true. I swear. People's attention spans nowadays are just not there. No, he ain't canceled them student loans. He pushed them back for a couple more months because they were supposed to take they were supposed to come back in February. Now he pushed it back to May. And you know, no, he's not gonna get rid of that. Can't afford to. You're already about to be in fucking hyperinflation and reverse interest and all this other shit. You know what I mean? Alan Greenspan said it when he said, yeah, we can print as much money as we want, but we can't control, you know, we can't control over time. We can't control what that money's worth. You know what I mean? They can keep printing money. That dollar gonna get less and less and less valuable. You know what I mean? It's gonna be ridiculous. They gotta pay it back by March. I'm telling you, man. It's you know, and then you average attention span is shorter than that of a goldfish. Facts. And then you know, I'm willing to bet that these checks people been getting for their child tax credit, it's going to screw so many people. It's going to screw so many people. You know what I mean? I got a feeling that those child tax credits, that money people been getting over the past few months, it's going to be counted as income. That shit going to be counted as income, and you going to owe taxes on that shit. It's going to fuck a lot of people up. Motherfuckers don't see it. They just, oh, we got some money. You know what I mean? They always fuck you in the ass on the back end. You know what I mean? But nobody see it. Nobody paying attention, man. You know what I mean? Everybody just want, you know, free, gimme, free, gimme. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's too much, man. You know, you can't tell people nothing nowadays. You know, like I said before, I could tell you 2 + 2 is 4. My entire life. The minute I come out with some shit that you think that is some so-called conspiracy theory, now I done put marbles up my ass. Shout out, you know, pause. Shout out to Patrice O'Neal for that analogy. You know, it's a sad fact, you know. And I've been shooting it straight to you for my whole life, and then I tell you some shit that you don't agree with or some shit that is contrary to your worldview. Now all of a sudden I'm some fringe conspiracy theorist. You know, shit is crazy. Anyway, yeah. They want so much freeness that they willing to be slaves to the powers that be. They want so much free shit that they willing to be slaves to the powers that be for it. Ain't nothing free. Nothing free. You notice what they not talking about no more. They ain't talking about no Medicare for all no more. You notice that shit, right? That shit got out of the paint real fast. Ain't nothing free out here. You know what I mean? Especially all them goddamn gifts I had to pay for my kids. Razza 2 at DMW is sad and infuriating. It is, you know, but that's what people are conditioned for. People are conditioned for that. People have been conditioned since coming out the womb. Just like we conditioned for this Christmas shit. We conditioned for all these other pagan holidays. You know what I mean? That's what they do. Pavlov's dog, like I said before. You know what I mean? If you don't know what Pavlov's dog experiment is, he would put food in a bowl, ring the dinner bell, dog come run and eat. Kept doing that, and then he stopped. Kept ringing that dinner bell, and guess who kept coming for that bowl, knowing there was no food there over time? The dog. The dog still kept coming to the bowl despite there never being any food there. He conditioned that dog to come to that dinner bowl when that bell rang, even if it was nothing there. And that's what the American people are right now. Pavlov's dog. And you're in an experiment. You're in an experiment right now. All those people that took that, you know what I mean? You got experimented on. You know what I mean? Everybody that's going out here going to buy these rapid tests and shit like that, being conditioned. All these people that's blackballing and shunning their family if they don't go get tested to come over to being conditioned. You're being conditioned. I don't know what we're being conditioned for, but we're definitely being conditioned for something. And I swear, people ain't gonna realize it until it's too late. They're not gonna realize it until it's too late. They keep marching us off they keep marching. They keep following the Pied Piper. They keep following the Pied Piper. And that Pied Piper gonna march their asses right off that cliff into the gulags. Funny how us fringe conspiracy theorists get it right at fat. Exactly. I've never said shit out of my mouth that I couldn't back up with a fucking some kind of statistic or a fact. Common sense goes a lot further than appears. That's right. What HJ say? Sometimes the more education you got, the dumber you are. You know? Singularity, my dude. I feel you on that. Yeah, I'll tell you. Anyway, I wanted to share that interview with you guys. You know, I just thought it was interesting, and just to see some of the bullshit they spreading. Like I said, that dark one is here, guys. I got a feeling that these kids ain't going back to school after the Christmas break. I got a feeling that people gonna be teleworking again. I got a feeling a lot more of these Covebase passports is going to be more prevalent in these left-leaning cities, these Democratic strongholds. Baltimore City, their mayor, the mayor of Baltimore City, he now this nigga toying with the idea, with the notion, which I don't understand, because this nigga just had the Covebase despite being jabbed up. The funny part is that they blaming the Unyamin for them getting sick, but you got the hat trick, you got the trifecta. You supposed to be protected, right? Governor of Maryland got the Covebase despite having that triple threat. You know what I mean? I tell you. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe button. Share this stream with everybody else. I appreciate it. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell somebody. Before I get out of here, let's hear it one more time.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way, where are you in Oregon?
Oh man, can't get enough of it. The gift that keeps on giving. Anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm sure I'll be talking to y'all before the New Year comes, but Merry Christmas to everybody. Go spend time with your families. Kick back, watch one of these classic Christmas movies. I recommend Christmas Vacation. Die Hard's a great Christmas movie. If you don't think Die Hard's a Christmas movie, there's something wrong with you. It's Ken and Hotep. I'll let you.